is going on, everybody? Welcome to episode 2 of Dharma, Daddies. I am your host, Wyatt. I got Danny and Skip with me. Before we get started, I would like to say thank you so much to everybody who subscribed, liked the video, all that good stuff. I got tons of great feedback for people calling me, texting me, messaging me. Y'all enjoyed the podcast. Y'all loved everything about it. It means the world to me. I know it means the world to those two guys. I know I didn't really tell them much about who DM'd me and who called me on the phone. I had my brother. I have people who live out in North Carolina giving me a call and stuff like that. It was insane. So,
yeah. Shout out to the German dinosaur on YouTube.
Yeah. What he said? He said Skip is daddy.
I appreciate that.
No, it's awesome. So how was y'all's week? We had the first podcast. After that, how's your week? What y'all been doing?
So the podcast I thought was a brilliant start to the week, and my week was absolutely on fire, dude. So outside of my relationship with God and prayer, constantly affirm what I want to happen for the day, for the week, for the year. And I affirmed that I wanted my week to be super productive, and I was slapped by how productive it really was. I mean, up early, going to bed late, helping people out, meeting and networking people, which we'll talk about later in the episode. It was awesome. We did a lot for Dharma. I did a lot for...
busy week for Dharma.
Yeah, busy.
Very good week.
That's a fact.
Very good week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about that soon.
And good time with the family. My personal life's great. Getting business going. It's been absolutely insane, and I can't wait to share how we did it, what we learned with you guys, and get you fired up as well.
Yeah, lot of stuff to learn today. I mean, like I'm excited to learn from you guys as well. It's I definitely see a lot of fun stuff happening. It's gonna be good. It's gonna be good.
Absolutely.
So Danny, what you been up to? You went out of town?
Yeah. I went to Houston real quick. Quick little business move. It was fun. But I'm excited to be back. Excited to be. I'll be here really just for, believe it or not, 36 more hours. And then I'm back off to Houston, there for a couple of days, then going to Dallas. And then from Dallas to Oregon, from Oregon to Sacramento.
You sound like an entrepreneur.
But it's fun though, because it's work allows it.
I
but
love it.
It's fun. So yeah, it's a lot coming up. But so that's kind of life.
Actually, tomorrow we're filming another podcast just because he's leaving us so soon. His girlfriend's going to be on tomorrow. She is a breadwinner, a boss, a female.
No, she's literally the breadwinner.
She is the breadwinner of the... She is the goat of sales. She comes from a bloodline of salesmen.
A savage. Like an absolute legend who I swear there's going to be books written
If Grant Cardone was 22 years old and a chick, it's going to be autumn.
Yeah, so tomorrow we're filming. Don't know when I'm going to drop that video, but we could probably title like Women in Business or something like that.
Yeah,
just to empower more women to just like take that leap of faith.
Absolutely.
So
it's there's a lot happening, and it's kind of crazy. I mean, if you think about it, because when you really think like entrepreneurship, like obviously it's been around for ages, right?
Yeah.
But when COVID came around, I'll be honest with y'all, it exposed people.
It was a make or break for people.
Yeah, and everybody got exposed. I mean, like, who could have predicted that? I understand. However, but like it really it pushed a lot. Like some people made it through, and but there were some people that the world economy when it started closing. I'd heard a lot of people,
Yeah.
And so it exposed a lot of people.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it's crazy, and so it's like entrepreneurship. Obviously, like I said, has been around. But it's
it's a really good reason to, if you're not currently, the best time to do it was yesterday. Get invested and get prepared, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Exactly.
Yeah, a lot of people are one paycheck away from poverty.
That's
what COVID exposed, man.
True. Yeah,
for sure. But
wait, really quick. Fun fact is that 73% of Americans don't have more than $500 set aside in a savings account. And it's just there's a real shift in the economy now. So entrepreneurship seems to be like a trending thing, but I think there's a lot more to it than people can expect right off the bat.
We're not telling you to dump all your money in a savings account, because that's what your grandpa did in the 40s or some shit.
Where it'll grow. Let it grow.
Let it grow. Make it grow. Keep a reserve in your savings, for emergency expenses and stuff like that. But Make your money work for you. Don't let it just sit
Okay,
there.
I gotta be honest about something real quick.
Sure.
So last podcast we said, oh, none of us are wearing Dharma. So I went out of my way. I washed clothes today, so I had a fresh, white, nice little logo performance tee cut super nicely
It
to
fits
wear
really well.
for the podcast. And
It's clean, bro.
You look like a snack.
it-
Are you related to the goldfish family?
no, I'm not. Why?
Because you're the snack that smiles,
Smiles
back,
back,
buddy.
Yeah.
I appreciate
Heard about
that. I appreciate it. So
That's it.
y'all are both looking very sharp. So thanks for that.
Thank you.
But I think I'd like to update the audience about what's going on with Dharma this week.
Yeah.
So
Let them have it. Let them have it.
so
What's new?
So with the first thing we're dropping for like a unisex is gonna be the oversized tees, and so got the sample in. Sample was perfect. Went ahead and bulk ordered for the website that we just launched this week. It's not on any social platforms yet because we want to perfect it. People are buying stuff on it right now.
But wait. So just to put a little background on it, it said. So I introduced them to my friend that does websites, a family member, matter of fact. But immediately they decided they were going to march forward right away. But not only did they do that, they just went ahead and both of y'all, without just winging it.
Can we
going
can we
for
talk
it.
about that right now?
Please, let's.
So, why?
Okay, wait, real quick. So the other website that we're gonna have built for us was 6 to 8 weeks. We said no, we don't have 6 to 8 weeks. We got product we want to sell right now.
Well, we're still gonna do that, but so Wyatt was like, okay, 90 days, we'll have a website up and running. I'm like, great. We didn't let that
What's the
go,
goal?
but we said, we can get a site and sell things in 2 days. So last year, and quick tip to anybody watching, anybody local, Southeastern's or SLU.
Southeastern Louisiana University over here in Hammond, Louisiana.
So our local university, and then your local university as well, the business department, division, whatever you would call it. I didn't go to like regular school, so I don't know how that works. But a mentor of mine signed me up for emails about free seminars via Zoom. And so last July or August, I went through a seminar and how to set up a Shopify website. Now this isn't a plug for Shopify or anything. We just happen to be using that right now.
We just have to be sponsored by them right now. It's no big deal.
No
No.
big deal.
We are sponsored by Makers. Just kidding. I wish.
We are. Sponsored by Dharma.
And I didn't have anything. I was going to do online courses for boating at the time. So I was like, okay, let me keep this in my pocket. Wyatt was like, man, well, we need a website. I was like, dude, I have a whole lecture of notes on how to do Shopify. So in about 3 hours, we started at like 11:30 at night. Went through to damn near 3 in the morning.
Wait, 3 hours?
About
You
three
got a
to
website
4
in,
hours.
like 3 to 4 hours.
Yeah, so I had the notes. I went to Shopify. We got an account. We already had the LLC established and all that good stuff.
Yep.
So get your pictures, get your LLC started, get your business account and everything so people can pay you. Get it all done beforehand. Then go to Shopify, log in, and then I can share in the description or somehow if you reach out to me, I can give you my notes. And there's a couple things to do. First thing is get your payment set up. Second, go right to the online store and customize it. Don't worry about the themes. Don't worry about all the different backgrounds you can do. You'll spend hours doing that alone. Don't do that. Get your pictures ready of your products, whatever you're selling. Upload pictures onto the home page. Then go into the products section on the left-hand side of your screen. Enter all your products. Put the inventory in. And make sure you hit don't sell if you're out of stock, okay? We don't want to take people's money and not have things in stock. So make sure you don't hit that. Then it automatically, in the catalog section of your page, when you click on that, it gives you all your products, the prices, the sizes, options, pictures, descriptions, everything. You can get it done in like 3 to 4 hours.
I started giggling the product descriptions that we have
Oh,
on our website right now.
Go to our Shopify and
Drop it in
Well,
the
not
comments below.
yet, but whenever you see the product stuff on the page, it's hilarious. So we're here to provide y'all as much value as possible. Enough about this little stupid stuff. We updated you on Dharma. We got the website going right now. You can now buy product. We got product on the way right
Very
now.
fast.
So yeah, I just want to provide them as much value as possible.
Have to.
They don't. Wanna
But like the highlight of the story is like these guys got after it really fast. They had no excuse policy, and they literally just went and made a website.
If you learn anything from last podcast, it's we're doers. we say we're gonna do something, we're gonna do it. Last podcast I said
I'm gonna-
90
I'm-
days. I want a website.
I'm gonna quote
No.
my friend
2
Wyatt
days.
Evans.
Ooh, I
We
heard about
are
him.
dangerously good at doing what we say we're gonna do.
That's like one thing I live by. Is if I say I'm gonna do something, I'm gonna.
Are you a thinker or are you a doer?
I'm a doer. What movie is that from?
I don't know. You beats me.
Yeah, I don't know.
It's a,
Big
hey,
yeah.
Mark Wahlberg said it in the movie. I'm a doer.
That's
Hey.
like all of his movies.
Okay.
Yeah,
No.
probably.
He always sounds a little.
Pain and Gain the seminar. I'm a doer. Okay. Regardless, so we got the
Fair enough.
So we have the question of the day from social media. Put a post up and stuff like that. And which really stuck out to me was the question of the day was describe Dharma in one word.
That's although we know one word, it's I mean like
One word.
It was powerful, and so Wyatt's been thinking about it. He knows the answer to it.
Yeah, so Danny was like, "You can't say purpose," and I'm like,
Yeah, I couldn't
That's
say.
the first thing that comes to mind is purpose.
It has
It's
to
like,
be.
Yeah,
what-
throw the
what-
mics in the water right now.
Like, what's your purpose? Find your. It's not purpose. I'm about to hit skip with this one.
Ooh.
Slap me.
Discovery.
Oh.
You gotta
Yeah,
discover your purpose. Discover yourself.
Yeah.
Figure out who you are as a
I like
person.
that.
Figure out who you are as a person. Discover where you want to be.
Mhm.
Discover who you want to be, and who you want to be around. So Dharma is all about discovery, trying to figure out who you are as a person.
Can I give one off the cuff? Because I wasn't prepared for
go
this
ahead.
question, by the way.
Yeah, go ahead.
I would say fulfill. Because if you want to succeed, you got to promise yourself something. You got to affirm it, right?
True.
Matthew McConaughey, if you haven't been
All
watching...
right.
All right. Now, if you haven't listened to any of his podcasts or his YouTube channel or anything like that, all right. You need to look him up and listen to what he's saying, because he was asked who his hero was. He said,
His dad.
it's... No.
Oh, even better. Low key. I mean,
Thought
like,
it was.
shout out to
yeah,
all the
that's-
dads.
Yeah, shout out to a good... If you have a good dad, that's great.
Amen.
Dharma.
But his answer was, my hero is me in 5 years.
Okay, I remember that.
Oh yeah, some fire. He
Yeah.
drops that. And
Okay,
then-
in the next 5 years, it's me in 10 years.
Yep.
But what happens when you
Wow.
make promises to
Bro.
yourself, when you make promises in general, you have to fulfill that, right? So you discover the law of Dharma, right?
Yeah.
You found your purpose, but you got to fulfill it.
True.
You can write it on the wall. In my office, right above this camera here, I've got Wyatt's seen it. I've got everything posted,
is-
taped on my wall.
Most
Yeah.
beautiful thing I've ever read.
That's
But it's a
fire.
big promise to myself, but you got to fulfill it.
Wow. So
I
you
was-
got discovery,
discovery. It's
and
just,
then you got fulfill. right.
ooh, so y'all leave in the comments what would you like better, fulfill or
Discovery,
discovery?
fulfill, or to
What you
me,
got? What you got?
what I find like just a one word to actually piggyback on both, because I don't think you can limit something so powerful
Yeah.
to one word. But what is it to you? I would say, look, so discovery, which is finding something new, like a passion, a burning something fire, and then to fulfill it with what Skip is really good at is deciding that he's going to put his mind to something and then just go and be so clear path, so clear thinker. I mean, that's how you ended up.
My mother says it's because I'm stubborn. But
Right, that's a good way to be. But it's so my word would be, so you discover, then you fulfill, and then let's say once you've done that to your satisfaction, obviously you keep going. That's what entrepreneurs do. But to me, what my word goes to is reflect.
Okay.
And so when
Elaborate.
because imagine, let's say you discover your passion, and I see it sequential. You discover it,
Yeah.
you fulfill it, and then like what does that mean when you fulfill it? What, you have a good life and you're happy, and then you float off into the
No, you
to
did
the
what you
distance?
said you were gonna do.
I think there's a lot of like, because remember, Albert Einstein said the heaviest thing in the universe is not made of matter, but is made of regret.
ooh,
That's a nugget. Ooh.
Think about that, because it's like think about like you, if your perception, if your dharma was to make 10 billion and you only made 800 million, of course the average mind would be like, damn, that's still a lot of money though. But the reality is, like, if that was his vision and he didn't fulfill it,
you got to stay hungry.
Exactly.
A lot of people might hit a goal, but like in Atomic Habits, James Cleary teaches us,
He does.
that if you have a goal mindset, solely a goal mindset, when you reach that goal, what happens? You know, did you embody, like, you
Wait.
want to be a millionaire?
What exactly to what you were saying is there's like a real thing in sports
Yeah.
where
You want to be a champion? You got to be a champion. You got to
do.
change your system. You got to become it. You can't just win a race
some of the most
or a game and then, okay, I did it. Now
Right.
I'm going to go eat
and some of the most
Cheetos
crazy
and-
depression comes from athletes that win the championship because that was their lifelong goal. So they chase something, and then when they reach
Yeah.
the peak, it's like it's how a lot.
I'm coming
God
off of
forbid.
my lifelong plan of doing what I'm supposed to be doing.
Correct.
I came off of that, and then for a while I was like, dude, what the hell am I going to do now? I'm doing, like, I'm on the path to sail as a captain one day, to do everything I said I was going to do.
That was nice.
And,
Danny just
you
drank the
know,
wrong drink.
but I was
That was
goal
nice.
oriented. I didn't become who I really wanted to be yet.
So discover,
Fulfill.
fulfill, and reflect. I just look at it like, what does it all mean in the big picture? Because if you ever figure out entrepreneurship, I definitely haven't yet. But it's like, what does all that mean?
Do you ever
So-
really figure it out?
No, well, I mean,
Because you
as
learn-
the
you learn
wise
every day.
as the wise words of a good friend of mine, Brian Hong, said, business and entrepreneurship is always a journey, not a destination. So you're never there. It's literally gonna
Oh,
be
absolutely.
eternal. You'll
So,
always
just-
compound and learn.
Just piggybacking on what you said before, one of my favorite audiobooks and books I've ever read was Relentless by Tim Grover. I sent that to y'all.
Yeah,
I
you
guarantee
did.
you, y'all have not listened to it yet.
Not yet.
And I guarantee if you read it, it'll change your mindset.
So it was Relentless by Tim Grover.
yes. So,
What quick breakdown of what it is.
so Relentless is just kind of how I live. So the book Relentless teaches you how to be relentless, which means doing whatever it takes to succeed at whatever you want to do.
Oh,
So he was,
Wow.
so background on Tim Grover. He was Kobe Bryant's personal mentor and basketball coach. He was Michael Jordan's mentor and basketball coach.
yup.
And he was Dwayne Wade's personal mentor and basketball coach. And so Tim Grover describes there's three types of people. There's coolers. They're like, okay, like whatever. There's closers, which everybody wants to be a closer.
Right.
Like, but
Close me on it.
there's a third option.
What's that?
Cleaners.
Clean.
They're the janitors. They don't leave until all the work's done. They're there after hours. They're out working
What?
everybody. So that's what a relentless person is. A cleaner. They're there after hours. They're doing the work.
Relentless.
Being
I mean, later we're going to touch on networking just for a minute. Arnold, who, this is founded around fitness, and I've always been a huge Arnold fan since I was about 16 or 17.
Arnold Schwarzenegger.
Yes. Arnold, kill me. I'm here. I'll do it. Do it now. I love the guy because I looked at old interviews before pumping iron, before he got famous. There was random interviews in different bodybuilding circuits on news stations, like in Australia and shit, like wherever he was. The way he spoke and the footage they had of him, he was there lifting weight after everyone else. He worked out longer and harder. And like you said, being relentless, you're the cleaner. You're there
Arnold's a
until
cleaner.
everything's done.
He is a cleaner. That's facts.
Cleaner.
So a clean. Wait, say that one more time for the people watching. So
I wish I had the definition.
three
of-
people. Just the three types of
I
people.
wish I knew the definitions off the top of my head, but there's coolers.
Yeah.
What's the example? It's like they're not going to take the game-winning shot. They're there
Yeah.
passing the ball to the person that wants to take the game-winning shot.
Right.
That might be the closer.
Yeah.
They're only going to take the shot if they're comfortable taking it. They're like, okay, I'm definitely going to make this. I'm going to shoot it now.
If I get the right customer, if I get the right conditions, then I'm a savage.
You're a closer. You're a savage.
Yeah.
The cleaner takes that shot
Gets
no
it
matter
no
what.
matter
Because if they
what.
don't take it, they're going to miss it.
Yeah.
So the closer takes the shot no matter what.
Hey, Cardone says like when in sales, like just talking to people, he says, literally, he said like no matter what, you can go get after it because if they're saying no now, they're gonna say no in the future, so you might as well shoot your shot.
The
It
worst,
gets kind of fun.
the worst thing that can ever happen is someone
So-
say no.
That's it.
I think that Danny should really tell us what entrepreneurship means to him because I got started late last year and it's still growing. I'm still working on my own personal little side business. It's doing all right. It's mostly word of mouth by now in the local area. However, Wyatt's now doing something on multiple social media platforms, and now, as a blessing, I get to be his partner in it with Danny.
Love to hear.
He's really learning at an exponential rate at least compared to me and most people.
Yeah,
What entrepreneurship is. But Danny's been doing it for 4 years now. He is a bona fide closer, man. Like
Danny's on track to be a cleaner. I think he has relentless mentality and stuff like that. But this episode is actually titled "Entrepreneurship. Is it for you?" So we're going to talk about what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Well, it is for Danny. I can tell you that.
No,
and I definitely want him to tell us what entrepreneurship is and what it means to him.
Yeah. So listen to our co-host and our guest, Danny, talking about entrepreneurship. Is
our
it for
daddy.
You? Our Dharma Daddy number 1, 2, or 3. No particular order.
Yeah. But entrepreneurship is like, honestly, there's a saying is when the student is ready, the teacher will appear. And so like entrepreneurship found me at the right time. Pretty crazy example. I was actually working at Walk-Ons, which is like a kind of a sports bar nearby us. Y'all know what it is.
Yeah.
But it was
fantastic food.
Yeah, they do. So we were there. I was bartending, and I had a guy approach me about a business opportunity. So I looked at it. Ultimately, just ended up in a first adventure. I was in it for 3 or 4 years. I kind of hit the wall, like went through actually for the first 2.5 years, really. But I hit the wall pretty quick, and it's tough.
Trenches.
Entrepreneurship is not easy.
Living in the trenches.
Get
comfortable in the trenches.
Grinding, and it was brick and mortar, so it was like a traditional business that you go to college for, and then like supposedly in college you learn these things, and so. But anyways, so after that, really just like got into the mindset of time freedom, and what does it mean? Like obviously nobody really enjoys working, right?
No.
What is that time freedom? What's that trade-off?
Well, and when I say everybody, I don't mean everybody. Some people are crazy and they love to work. But to answer your question directly, time freedom to me is like really paying attention to like what you want to do in life. Like, what is your time worth? Do you want to be chilling? Do you want to be having fun with family? Do you want to be relaxing? Or do you want to be a cleaner or somebody that is is relentless towards their goals? And there's not a right or wrong, because there's a balance. Some people may not cherish the idea of money so much, but it's definitely it's a balance between a hard work ethic and the ability to enjoy the things where you would not consider work, making money work for you.
I like what you said about, is it the money you're after, or is it the freedom? If you take a humble standpoint, you quickly realize, okay, I want freedom. How do you do that? Well, you need a lot more fun tokens in your bank account to give you that freedom. That's just how that's how the world works.
Yeah.
And people who are money conscious, they're not obsessed about the dollar amount in the account or what they're making. They're obsessed with the freedom that you can get with it. And that's mistaken a lot, Like I've said last episode, I get called arrogant and stuff all the time because of what I want to do, what I want to have. And one, I want to share that with my close friends and family. Two, I want the freedom to do that, but you can only get that freedom if you're not working every damn day. Mm-hmm. You have enough assets to kind of let you get some freedom and do what you want to do.
Yeah.
And then you'll really find your Dharma.
Yeah, it sure is. But I would say, to me, to wrap it up, it really is just to simply look at it from the perspective of knowing exactly what you're after, knowing your clear intentional purpose, and then just magnifying that to fulfill it. And then once you fulfill it, then you need to reflect on it and kind of understand where you're at, where you're going, and more importantly, like, why are you doing what you're doing?
All right, so cookie cutter definition of what it means to be an entrepreneur.
Cookie cutter would just be to decide what you want and to make it happen outside of like a work schedule.
Yeah, so find your own path. Find something that you can make money off of and pursue that.
Yeah.
Besides clocking in and clocking out.
Yeah, because it's Grant Cardone talks about trading. Basically, with your time, you have to trade your time for money.
But with an entrepreneurship, aren't you trading your money for time?
That's it. That's literally it, down to a definition.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
So for our new, not everybody's gonna be an entrepreneur. Some people want to be comfortable, which is totally fine. I love
I
living.
hate that.
I love living in.
Wait, hold up, because that's okay. I mean, like he said, he hates that.
I don't like that.
Yeah, because
I've been good at being really uncomfortable,
you love living in
and
fear.
I'm kind of no. What is that? Oh yeah, it's the timer.
There's a timer.
What were you just talking about?
Yeah, so you were saying, or do you want to be comfortable? And I was like, I hate that. And going back to my Arnold example, and some of those old interviews with him when he was our age, pretty much, he's like, I would hate being like everybody else. And there's nothing wrong with being similar to people and that sort of thing. That's fine. It's a good thing. But I don't want to be like everybody else. I don't want to settle for the same thing that everyone's allotted, because in America, it's not hard to get a base standard of living that's comparable to everyone else. But I would hate to be that when I know I could have done more.
Sucks to be average.
No, so
You got the it was the cleaners, the closers, and
It's the coolers, cleaners.
closers.
Coolers, closers, and cleaners. But just piggyback from that real quick before we go into the rest
I
of
mean,
this.
you've seen my countertops. I'm a cleaner.
As right now you're a closer.
Yeah, okay.
Be relentless and be a cleaner. Everything you say you're gonna do it to your best ability.
Absolutely.
Be a cleaner. Outwork everybody else. That's what it's about. And piggybacking what you said is just like, don't get when you grow the most when you're uncomfortable. Like say skydiving, for example. I don't want to skydive, but I'd grow so much if I did, because I'm fearful of it. So when you start doing the things that you fear, you realize, oh, I didn't really fear it that much. Because like maybe like what they say is the first like 10 seconds of you skydiving, you're screaming and stuff like that. Then you just hit this point where you relax. You're like, oh
Isn't
my
that
god,
crazy?
look at those trees.
Yeah.
I'm falling. Look at this.
It's like running. I used to be an awful runner. I used to hate running. And I started in high school, and at the academy, I did a rescue swimming course.
Rescue
And-
swimming?
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Badass move.
Yeah, that's,
Not really.
That's crazy.
I just swim, but they had us run a lot, and at that point in time I hadn't run more than 5 miles before.
At one time?
At one time.
Damn.
So they had us run.
That's a lot.
It was like 7 to 8, something like that. And they talked about this before, but when you're running and you start to hate it, you start to get exhausted, you start struggling to breathe, your brain, actually, not your body, your brain saying, stop, I'm scared of this, I don't like this feeling.
That's entrepreneurship.
If you keep
Yeah, it is.
if you keep running and say, you know what, screw that, no, I'm going to keep going, and you tell your brain, hey, shut up.
So is the key to entrepreneurship just keep running and swimming? Is that it?
I just kept running.
Janae, if you literally keep, like, whatever you're doing, like you said last week, you said, this sales, like 2 months in, like this sales thing isn't working out for me. I'm gonna go. I needed money now. It's like, no, if you keep, there's the freaking picture. Everybody's seen this picture. A dude in a tunnel digging a cave.
Yeah.
And like
digging for the diamonds.
Digging for diamonds,
Yeah.
and he's like 2 hits away, and he's like, I'm tired of this. I'm done.
Yeah. Excuse me.
But so, Danny, I like to segue into you. So we talk about entrepreneurship. All entrepreneurship is, if you're good at something, you can find something you can make money out of, pursue it. I love fitness. I'm passionate about it. I want to start my own clothing brand, something line. Jim, passionate about boats, own boat line. Danny hasn't found his purpose yet. He's very good at solar, but we're still waiting on him to figure out what his purpose is, which is totally fine.
Yeah.
However, he's got his own LLC, which is entrepreneur management. He wants to teach other people how to be an entrepreneur, which is why we have him on tonight, and we're going to have him on every night, and why he's one of our co-hosts
Oh,
and
by the
our
way,
special guest.
I took a online course for making courses and selling what you have to offer, so I have some notes for you. By the
We
way.
gonna make a course?
Oh, absolutely.
Okay.
I took that
Hey, he
course.
said it.
Hey, manifest.
He is,
there's
he
a-
is the manifest.
So I've manifested, and there's a lot of lectures I went through and online courses and stuff. I have a year's worth of notes of this. I haven't used a lot of it yet,
Build
but
a course.
I have the ability to
Let's do it.
be blessed and bless my buddy with all these notes and this course that I have. It
Oh,
costs a
man.
good bit of money. It's like
Oh,
a
man.
college course,
Yeah. Let's do
but it's
it.
all yours because I have the notes. So
Let's do it
I got you,
together.
man.
Let's
Entrepreneur.
Let's hear the
management.
pros and cons of
Yeah.
being an entrepreneur. Entrepreneurship, is it for you?
Is it? So, but that's the thing. Is like, to me, it's fun to think about it, because it's like everybody wants to have that freedom. They want to kind of have what they want in life, but it's easier said than done. If
They're
it was
scared.
easy, everybody would be doing it, right? That's what I like saying.
It is scary.
Yeah, but
It's uncomfortable.
It is. It is.
Fear.
Fear.
Get hard.
Yeah. But it's like when you really look at it, yeah, there are pros and cons to it because it's like there's a lot of comfort in making $75K a year, chilling in the same spot, like having exact predictions.
Oh, I've got my 401k.
Yeah,
This
you're
is
just
going to
stacking
mean
money
anything
away.
in 10 years.
I'm gonna keep up with the Joneses.
Yeah. And it's funny because it's like it seems like nobody wants to do that, but there's a lot of people that are doing that. So there's a lot of people that do, and then there's a lot of people that don't. And so, but entrepreneurs, it's fun.
Pros and cons.
It'll expose you really fast. There's a con, because I promise you, if you jump into an only commission job where you literally only get paid, like respectfully, I just think of like prehistoric times.
Back to that running example. If you stopped running, you were out of the program. You
He's
failed.
right. And so, when it comes down to it, it's like when you go hunting, if you like prehistorically, if you go hunting and you don't come back with food, you don't survive. And so the same way in commission is having that mindset of literally getting after.
Never heard
Think
that
about
like
that.
Imagine those Neanderthals in the caves,
you
hunting
have
and
to.
gathering with an Adderall.
With an
Or just,
an
actually, not even Adderall. Imagine
been
what they would have been like.
fantastic.
Imagine the ADD ones. They were the best hunter-gatherers of their time, man.
Yeah.
No, to let you continue, but like I jumped into entrepreneurship and I was like commission only. I left my full-time job
Yeah.
to pursue something like this, and like,
There's
I was
a
like,
jump. You don't dip your toe in the pool. You jump in.
I was like, shit, dude, I need money. So I'm chilling at the Stell store, and some dude's in the parking lot with his daughter going to like some soccer place in the same parking lot. And I opened the door. I literally said, "You want some water?" He came in. 2 weeks later, he bought a unit.
That's fire.
That was my first sale
That's a
ever.
good story. I
Hey,
like
you
that.
jumped right in, man.
My
You took a risk.
My first sale. I said, "Hey, you want some water?" In the freaking parking lot. Like,
Yeah. Hey.
it's,
Hey, girl, you want some water?
say, girl, you look thirsty.
Yeah. Hey.
So, what are some more cons of being an entrepreneur, man?
Some cons, I would say, I mean, it's a lot harder than people think. And like we talked about it last week, like nobody on social media will go out there and say, "Hey, here's a video of me. I had a terrible day. Let me tell you about it. I didn't make any money and I actually lost money."
What's funny is in my podcast notes here, I took a note of that. You said that last episode. And it's about not posting a lot. No one posts about them having a bad day.
Yeah, literally.
Like, here's a selfie. I had a bad day. No sales.
Here's that
I ate a
donut I'm eating in the mirror.
I ate a donut.
Hey, but if you make a sale, like 99% of salespeople are like,
You eating 50 Krispy Kremes.
"Yeah, it wasn't nothing." Selfie, and then they do it, and it's like, I mean, I've been guilty of it
I mean,
too.
it's
but
all clout, you know?
Yeah.
It's not about...
It's nice to feel it too.
Dude,
It's like
yeah.
it's cool, but it's like, but the reality is, out of the 100 people that post, 99.9 are going to just be like,
If you posted every time you closed, I'd hate you.
but
If I posted every time I closed, y'all would feel sorry for me. every 6 months, close the deal. All right, this dude's in poverty.
I mean, I'm not
You
even in
okay?
sales, so that's why I'm not even on Instagram.
I'm getting good at it.
sales is fun.
It is
Yeah.
fun.
To me, it's like, to everyone watching, it really like, and everyone's got their own opinion. Everyone can do it their own way, but it's crazy because I literally look at it like, if you didn't make pro sports, it's okay, or if you didn't make some competitive dream of yours, it's okay. Just apply that energy to business, and to me, that's how I look at it because it's like a sport.
Yes.
It's commission only. I can't work out last month and then expect results for this month. You only get what you put in that day. And so that's to me it's fun to me. I mean, it's like you have to exercise your free time.
Well, I
to
think
make
it's
money.
incredible as a young man. You got into sales, and I know a couple other young people in sales right now, friends of mine. They haven't gotten quite to your level, but I think
Appreciate
they will.
that. Yeah.
But there's a lot of habits. Again, James Clear.
Atomic
Yeah,
habits.
atomic.
That
habits, that's
it
right.
makes you
So-
manage your time better, makes you appreciate. It makes you really grateful, does it not?
Exactly. It does.
So before we continue on the cons or pros, whatever you want to segue into next, Skip, what is an atomic habit?
yeah. Enlighten
So-
us.
Atomic, right? Atom, very small, very tiny. but the precursor to a huge, huge change in energy, right? Like an atom bomb. An atom's so tiny, the building blocks of what we all are.
That's true.
You put it in a reactor and you don't give it away to cool down, and it creates a bomb, right? It's a very tiny, tiny change. An atomic habit is a 1% improvement. It's a 1% change. It could be simple as, okay, today I'm waking up early. I'm going to wash my face, brush my teeth. I'm going to go get my coffee, and I'm going to plan my day. It could be as simple as that. That's a 1% increase, right?
Yeah, it's like brushing and then mouthwash, and it's like, oh, my next atomic habit is to be flossing. I'm going to implement flossing between the two.
In the book, it gives you your cue all the way to your reward, what gets you started on that habit, what you enjoy from it. But those 1% increases, I think, over a year, over an annual period, mathematically, it makes you 137% better. Is that the math?
I think it's definitely way over 100% better.
Because in the book, in James Clear's book, it gives you a lot of graphs, which I like because I'm visual. I'm not a smart dude. I can't like hear things and be like, no, I got it. Like I gotta see that.
Smeller.
That's why I drive boats. It's like there in front of me. I get it. And that's why I do weights, because it's there. I get it. You know,
Pick up, put down.
It's not a bunch of word stuff. And but in the graphs, it shows you that improvement actually becomes exponential. So those 1% improvements, those little atomic habits. And later he talks about becoming what you want to be. You know, I want to be a millionaire, right? Who doesn't? Well, I'm going to start being a millionaire now. They were here.
Habits.
They were here for 2 hours waiting on me because I went to dinner with my some close family friends. Ended up networking and meeting some investors and everything. But I walked in there like I'm an owner of a huge gym and clothing franchise. I am a millionaire. Yes. I walked in like I had the assets that I want. I dressed like it, not in a flash way. This suit's old as shit. You know, the watch was a gift. I'm not trying to be a hypocrite. I'm humble. Like it did not cost me a lot, but I dressed like I had the attitude of that millionaire when I put my outfit together, and I dressed accordingly for the occasion. And I went in there, and because of those atomic habits, because I laid out my outfit when I got in the shower, because I flossed and I brushed my teeth
the
the way I
little
like,
things.
those little details, that attention to detail, those are the atomic habits that make you get to that 137% improvement.
Yeah.
And I got
Well said.
I got
Well
investors
said.
for Dharma tonight.
Bang.
Right
Busy
there.
Friday night. Most people are doing different things on Friday.
I'm not running a tab at the local bar, getting shit-faced.
No, we're not.
I mean, I did have some Basil Hayes and Old Fashions there at Keith Young. Shout out to them. And
That's nice.
house cut filet, but
Are we done with the cons? Any more cons to being an
I
entrepreneur?
mean, like there's
There's
going
a
to be an
lot.
endless list, and because the reality is, I mean, like cons are different for other people. I mean, there's certain people who embrace the opportunity. There's certain people who, if they look for a problem in a gold mine, they would find one. I don't have the pick.
But we don't focus on the negative, boys, do we?
Positive.
But the reality
glass
is
is
most
half
people
full.
do.
The reality is there's a lot of things. I have one more negative.
Sure.
Before I went to the school I went to and got the job I wanted, people looked at me like I was silly. Like, you know when a little kid is in a crowd of adults and he says some stupid, silly shit?
Do it every day.
And still do. But people, you sit there and you chuckle like, ha, okay, that's cool, great. That's what being an entrepreneur is like. When you tell people about your goals, now you don't want to constantly flaunt like, oh, I'm going to do
You have
this
to just
and do
put
that.
it out there. Hey, you remember point and call in the book?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so it's literally putting it out there and then just, hey,
Not
just so you know.
not
I'm
in a
doing it.
braggadocious way, but when someone asks you, you seriously answer, of course.
Of course.
And I told people my goals and what I want to do, and this was before this all started. And they looked at me like, oh, that's cool, good for you. And I fucking hated that, dude. Excuse my language. I hated that.
I love it.
And I was like, well, I love that I hate it. It makes me keep going, right? And I was like, you know what? Yeah, cool.
I'm about to prove this
Keep
motherfucker
chuckling.
wrong.
I'm going to be in the Keys with my boys, having a vacation, a well-deserved vacation.
Not even vacation. We're living there.
Yeah. Well, I'm from there, so I got to go back. But
Gotta go home.
got to go home. The saltwater Conch Republic. But that's a big con. You're going to put out there what you want to do. You're going to tell your parents. And this this hurts. Your
Yeah.
parents are gonna be like, oh, okay, whatever. You know, they're not gonna seriously believe you. You know, and my parents, they're always supporting me.
I mean, and
They will, but
some parents will, some won't. It's
what happens is it doesn't matter who it is. You got to ignore that. But the biggest con is people close to you, and this is why you have to cut certain people out of your life, are going to not care about it or not support it or not take you seriously. That's a big con.
Yeah, it definitely could.
Enough about the negative, though.
But yeah, and there's cons. There's pros, and have we really touched on the pros, Wyatt?
We have not touched on the pro, but piggyback with like parents and stuff like that. My dad sent me a text about a week ago.
What'd
I just
he
want to
say?
say what he said. So I said, hey, I'm going over to Daniel's house to work on some back end stuff for Dharma. I'll be home. I'm probably sleeping there. Not gonna be home tonight. Yada
Right.
yada. He said, he texted me. He said, I love you, son. I'm proud of the things you're doing. I know you're going to be successful.
Yeah.
That meant I cried in my car.
Yeah, you did. Yeah, that's fire.
Because he's like, as like Matthew McConaughey, my dad is
Same with my
hero.
dad, man. When he told me, I think I mentioned this last episode, you're exactly where you're supposed to be right now. Yeah,
Brother.
That, and whenever he prays over me is when I will cry.
Yeah. That's powerful.
Dude.
Huh?
That's some
So-
biblical shit, man.
So, pros of being an entrepreneur. What can people expect when they start running their own business? They get into sales. When they determine their own income, what can they expect, man?
So honestly, I mean, there's it's kind of boils down to one word, and it's accountability. And it really is. It is. If it was easy, everyone would be doing it and killing it.
Okay, definition of accountability.
So accountability is keeping promises to yourself. That's what Ed Milet says. Is true self-confidence
Absolutely.
comes from the ability to keep promises with yourself. And
Okay, so why is accountability so important when being an entrepreneur?
because at the end of the day, you have to wake up, you have to go, you have to have intention, and accountability you keep with yourself, or accountability you can keep by asking your buddy or an accountability partner or your mentor as to what to do. And then when you keep that, it will, I'm telling you, it will expose you. That's what you can expect, to get exposed, to humble yourself, and to realize that it really is a journey. And to anybody that thinks they got it figured out quick, there's something that it says documentation beats conversation.
So what I heard from that is a pro of it is if you're accountable to yourself, you will be successible. However, accountability can be a con because not a lot of people are accountable to themselves.
no, not this
No,
one.
no, dude, nobody
One
is.
thing about accountability, it goes off of something I told someone very important to me in my life at the moment in time. It was like, I can't give you the things that you should be giving yourself. When it
Wait,
comes to accountability,
say
Say
it
it
again.
again.
Speak up for the people.
Talk to
I-
the camera.
I cannot give someone the things that they cannot give themselves, that they should be giving themselves. I can't love you like you should love yourself. I can't
Bring you happiness.
make you happy when you're not making yourself happy.
Right.
And when it comes to accountability, is that there's a lot of people in jobs right now. There's managers at restaurants right now who want their own business, want all these things, right? And they might be on their way to do that. But accountability, like you can go, like through my Navy experience, there's a thing called accountability. It's when people muster and you take accountability, make sure everyone's there or present or
Right.
accounted for, right?
Right.
And you can start by being accountable for other people, to other people, but you will not climb the ladder until you are accountable with yourself. I remember I was 19 years old. I was on an offshore racing team. I was the skipper of the boat. I was the captain.
Skip.
Skipper.
That's where the name comes from, man.
Skippy. Skip.
And if any of those offshore buddies are watching this, they've seen me make plethoras of mistakes. But for a while, I was not accountable to myself, but I was making sure everyone else was taken care of. I realized when I was accountable to myself first, made sure I was good to go, did everything I was supposed to do, then when it was time to be accountable to everyone else, I was just eons ahead of where I was. And you cannot have true accountability until you are accountable for yourself, until you do those atomic habits, until you are accountable for everything in your life, for your current situation, where you are. You've recognized all your decisions leading to where you are right now. When you are truly accountable with yourself, then you can grow. Then you can implement a system. Then you can get your own business. Then you can climb the ladder.
I love it.
Mic drop.
Thanks, buddy.
Jeez,
Yeah.
bro, that was. Ooh. Yeah, that's a nugget right there.
That was a mic drop.
So more pros of being an entrepreneur. Do you want to go into habits and systems, environments?
Oh, I mean, like, it's just, to me, it's a good versus evil. It's a positive, like an expansion mindset versus an implosion mindset. It's just simple to me, from my approach. It doesn't mean it's easy, but it's like you're either gonna go get what you want or you're not.
So I got a question for the crowd.
Sure.
What kind of environment do you need to build around you or have around you to be successful as an entrepreneur? What kind of people do you need to surround yourself with? What does that look like? What's your environment like?
I could tell you, based on my experience, when you truly give yourself permission to be like insanely obsessed with something, you're gonna lose pretty much a lot of your friends that you have now.
Done that.
Yeah, because it's like
Got
all
the
those
t-shirt.
people that you had literally had in your life that you were donating your time to. The moment that you literally like get into real entrepreneurship, like all your friends are like, dude, like, where are you, bro? Like, you don't even come to the bar anymore.
Back to the accountability with yourself. You're accountable with yourself, and you get after what you want,
yeah.
and you do that, and you start
That's
losing
what
those
it
friends. People don't realize that includes relationships.
Yeah, it can
Lost a lot of
it
people.
can ruin relationships,
It
and
has.
that's why you have to stay on the same page with growth and the same page with the mindset, aka be open about where you're going, which is point and call. Super important.
So
But-
the way I look at like entrepreneurship, pros, cons, etc. So people are typically used to the slogan like you're either like a glass half full or a glass half empty guy.
That's on a simple version. That's it.
But how I look at it is like, yeah, your glass is either half full or half empty. How I look is like, hey, I got water.
yeah,
At least I have
Perspective.
water.
yeah,
Now let's see what I can do with this water.
yeah. You got water, you got time, and we don't know how much time.
Exactly.
But yeah, I mean, so it's most people, to whoever's watching this. I mean, entrepreneurship, is it for you? Who knows? I mean, ultimately, I think it's worth trying. That's what Gary Vee's a huge proponent for. Is like, dude, like, you're 25, you're 22.
He says
you're
that's the freaking
21.
35-year-olds.
Yeah.
He's like, dude, you're 35. Like,
It's like, yeah, he's like, dude, what? Like, you've got the rest of your life.
yes, dude.
And so it's like, wherever, at whatever
35,
stage you're on,
50 is still 15 years away.
that's a long time. And I think people overlook that. And so entrepreneurship, it's going to hit you whenever you're ready. Some people will look at this and they'll just be like, oh, yeah, like, what do they know? Obviously. But the reality is, it is always going to be a journey. People, honestly, are going to understand.
I want to circle back to what's your circle look like?
Yes. Yeah, we didn't even
Because
call it, yeah.
that's important. That is so important. Again, we talk about losing friends and everything. Yeah, that sucks. We'll file that under the cons. We'll get over it. Enough about the negative.
That's a pro for me.
Yeah.
Levels
Again,
you- it
there's,
levels you
there's that
up.
change in perspective.
Elevation
You-
requires separation.
Say that again.
Elevation requires separation. You got to separate from what you used
Danny's
to be.
over here spitting fire.
Hey, if you want to be a leader of a pack, leave your pack and make your own.
Ooh. It's a fact, though. But I mean, it's something that you'll find whenever it's right. But your circle's big. I mean, because as entrepreneurs, somebody who's been there, somebody who's going through it, or somebody who wants to go through it, when you're a part of that path, there's empathy, there's like respect for the hustle, and it's like the cleaner at some point. Even like cleaner doesn't mean I made the most money. Cleaner, you can be a day one cleaner, and you can just say, you know what, I'm about this shit.
I didn't sell a single stealth unit, but I'm going to go ahead and clean up the shop, make it ready to sell tomorrow.
So
You go get it.
the cleaner, they're not in it for the money. They want the wins.
Yeah, it's
They're
a win.
hungry. They're hungry to win.
Do you want to win once a week?
You want to win every single second of every single day. And so all a cleaner is saying like, hey, I'm gonna win today. I'm gonna win at everything I do. Nobody's gonna be. I'm gonna wash the fuck out of these dishes.
All right.
Yeah.
No
All
one's
right,
gonna
let me
wash
jump
these
on that real
dishes.
quick.
Let's hear it.
I think I know what your answer is going to be, but what did you do to win today?
I got uncomfortable. I did things I didn't want to do, and I did them to the best of my ability. and
Yeah,
I-
what was that? I'm pretty sure I know what that was today.
What I did today?
That was uncomfortable that you didn't want to do.
Speak for the crowd.
I know what my answer for you would have been, because it would have been mine if I did it. I didn't do it, but
What was uncomfortable? I mean,
We play the Jeopardy music.
what what do you think I did today that was uncomfortable?
the run.
Oh, dude. So like, he's like, whoa, dude. Dude, holy shit. Forgot about that, dude. So like, how long I've been talking about that for like days now? I'm like, man,
I heard you say run.
I'm like, I really want to start running again. Last week we talked about, if anything's like ever worth doing, like do it now. Like if it's worth it, you'll do it now.
Yeah.
And so I'm driving home from the gym. I'm like, damn, I really need to do some cardio. Like, I'm not that big of a guy. Like when I'm lean, I'm like 170 something. I weighed myself, I was 192 today. Granted, I still have abs. Like I'm pretty like not jacked, but like a pretty big guy, I like to say.
He is looking really good, ladies.
But I was like, man, just the euphoric feeling you get from running and how you feel after, feeling accomplished, doing something that makes you like uncomfortable.
Yeah.
It's not like I don't fear running. I mean, it's cool, but I do fear the task of it. It's like oh, it's dreadful, right? But I was like, I'm gonna get out of my comfort zone. I said I was gonna do it. Let's go and do it, dude. I was like, had my music in, had my app going, dude. So I'm not the fastest dude in the world, right? But like, I ran a mile in 7 minutes and 47 seconds. I was like,
That's pretty good.
I was like, hell yeah! I was like, shit, I was going for 12-minute mile. And
Yeah.
dude, when you play a little bit of Creed, you play the song Higher. Or you play
Volume up.
Or you play
Take me higher.
you play Run It Up by JT Taco and
there
Marky
you
B.
What about you, Danny? What did you do to win today?
Well, it was really tough, honestly. Just on a side note, ended up because of a business transaction. I didn't actually share this with you, but definitely lost out on $15,000 today.
So on the last 2 podcasts, you've learned that he is very bad at holding on to money.
Yeah, but yeah,
He has more
different
L's than W's.
circumstances,
He
but-
is not a cleaner.
yeah.
He takes
That's what it
L's.
feels like.
I don't know. Danny has a great vision. I think he's a cleaner.
Yeah.
He's a
But
cleaner.
yeah, but it's special. It's just because obviously there are days where I'm like, dude, like I texted him on Monday or something. I was like, dude, I just made a sale. Like it's a huge benefit.
23K.
Yeah, 23K. It was there was.
I said, do I need to drop my Venmo?
Yep.
You did.
Yeah.
Dude,
Dirty.
I was with Skip when that happened. We were super excited for
wins.
you.
That's the thing, though. Find friends. So that circle's going to go down, right? But you're going to
Yeah.
find friends who are like-minded, like we do here. Dude, there was no envy. There was none of that.
Dude, we were not like, fuck that dude. Like, oh, he made 20.
Yeah.
Yeah,
We're
like-
dude, fuck, dude, he made 20.
oh, I wish I could do that. No, it wasn't any of that. It was like, hell yeah, dude, do more. Like, let's go, baby.
Yeah. No, I appreciate that. I mean,
So, but
it's,
you
man.
did something. There was
But-
something you did today to win.
Oh, for sure, yeah. But just circle around. It was a tough day, but it was just to, multifaceted. I would say, I made like 52 sales calls today, which is just like the repetitions. It's just
That's
like
a lot of work, man.
showing
That's
up
a
to
grind.
sales practice. It's not that much in my eyes because I know I can do a lot more than that. But like 52 sales calls, and I did make a sale. But there was pros and cons to the day. But ultimately, my mindset is in an elevated state, being around y'all.
So what you did to win today was that you didn't quit.
Yeah, 100%. That's
Sometimes that's all it is,
So-
people.
where I'm at right now.
Daniel, I'm gonna ask you this. What's your circle like? What kind of people do you need to surround yourself to be successful?
Couple different variants I'd like to answer to that, but just answer it simply. I mean, look to my left and to my right. I mean, you guys have been super stellar. Not only supportive, but also like intuitive enough to like realize that it's just 3 daddies that have their own journeys that are all in different chapters, but all on the same journey, headed in the same direction, in the same river.
Yeah.
And so we're all doing it together. Obviously, no one's better or worse than anybody else, but it's because it's all based on yourself. And what you're really doing is competing against yourself yesterday or like yourself 5 years from now. Right. And so to me, I think there's a lot of value in understanding that the people closest to you, the people that literally like think about this, hang with me for a second, that you literally allow in your space. Like, imagine, like, if I wanted to go hang out with Drake right now. Let's be real. It'd be like, who are you? Why should I hang out with you? Like, what do you bring?
My
to the
name's Danny.
table?
I sell solar.
But I mean, like, and who's not to say I have value for him, but it's just like, it's like he has a
Protected space.
I don't know, Drake's too busy crying in the shower about something.
Yeah,
Writing
sure,
a new album.
sure.
But going off of that with your environment and your circle and cutting your family off, there's this one quote I resonate so hard with, and it's, family isn't those you share blood with, it's those you bleed for. So we're not
We
related.
need to like have like a book of all these things.
So the dinner I was at tonight,
I'd bleed for y'all. Y'all are my family.
so I was
Appreciate
with
that.
my parents, yes. But we don't have much connection with the outside family anymore. It's sad the way it happened, but it is what it is. But I was next to some individuals who not only have brightened my parents' lives up, because we moved here not knowing anybody. And, but I would bleed for every one of those people there at that table tonight. And that's so true, man, because I'm a good example of family's not the blood, it's who you would bleed for. That is fire, dude.
I wish I was by my mic right now. It's
We can still kind of hear you, actually.
repeat the quote.
Family is not your blood, it's who you bleed for.
Yeah.
Yeah. So family.
And if you wouldn't bleed for one of your friends right now, forget about it.
Yeah, they're probably not your real friend.
No, so family is not those you share blood with. Technically, it is. Like, my mom's my family, my dad's my family, grandpa, grandparents, cousins.
Right,
We all
of
share the
course.
same blood. However, your true family is not those you share blood with. It's those you're willing to bleed for. So you have family members that you are willing to bleed for. My dad, my mom, my sister, my sister's gay, but her wife. I'd bleed for her. I'd bleed for that motherfucker every day of the fucking week.
Right.
I'd bleed for fucking you every day of the week. I'd
That's
bleed
love.
for you. All my super close friends that have had my back since the jump and that have stayed in touch with me, we reach out to each other. I'd bleed for you any single day of the week. I'd take my shirt off the back. I'd take the skin off my back. I'd do anything for any of you.
That's Dharma.
I've got crew members on my ship right now that I would bleed for. Now, if DeMario, if you're watching this, Flea, Kitty, PJ, Dave, all you guys, Kieran, Ryan, all you guys are watching this, absolutely would bleed for you in a heartbeat.
So, like, literally think about that. Like, if you want to correct your circle and figure out who you're hanging out with, think about those you'd take a bullet for. Those you'd physically bleed for just because they're that close to you as a person.
And then, in addition to that, look at, like, audit yourself, audit your circle. Look at, like, who you literally give your time, your energy, who you hang out with every day, who do you
I
go
have
to the gym with.
a fun challenge for the viewers.
What's that?
Go to one of your good friends, maybe even your best friend, and if you've had some dream, some goal that you kind of kept to yourself because you haven't really got on track with it yet or something, tell that friend that goal.
If y'all
See
told
what-
me something stupid, I'd say, fuck yeah, do it.
Yeah.
Do
Like-
it. Do it today.
Yeah.
If your friend is not like, okay, how do I help you do that? How do we do that? I want to see you do that.
Or just be brutally honest with you if it's something crazy as shit. I mean, because sometimes
I'm going to
honesty
take a
is good
bicycle
thing.
to the moon.
And they're like,
All right, have fun.
If it's anything outside of them wanting to see you succeed or them wanting to even help, get out of that, dude. You deserve so much more.
Yeah, it's
Circle
always
is
nice
so
to have
important.
somebody rooting for you. It really is. Your environment's key.
It's cool to have one person. We can have like 2, 3, 4, 5, maybe 10 people rooting for you every single day.
You don't need that many people either.
You don't. You just need
When
one
you're-
person to have
When you're
your back.
accountable with yourself and clear out that circle,
Ed Milet says it.
you don't need that much outside of yourself.
Skip
You got
don't
a
even know
couple-
who Ed Milet is.
What's that?
Skip don't even know who Ed Milet is.
Bro.
No.
So
That's okay. We're gonna
I
educate.
sent a playlist in our private text.
Wait, the one you sent tonight?
Oh yeah.
I saw that.
So
I haven't
last
listened
night,
to it yet.
That TikTok I showed you last night was Ed Milet.
Oh,
He
that
said-
guy?
Yeah. So
Oh,
was,
dude.
Listen, let me drop this nugget.
Go.
So he was at a car wash with his son. His son was 6 years old. And the car wash says, hey, what are you doing? Your son turns like 7. Like, what's he going to be like? He was like, well, what do you mean? He was like, well, once he turns 7, 6-year-old him is gone. You'll never have a 6-year-old son again. Now he's a 7-year-old, different thoughts, different actions. He started thinking, he was like, wait, so what am I as like a 45-year-old? Am I gonna be different at 46? Well, no one thinks like that. You're supposed to be. You're supposed to grow every single year, every single day.
That's weird.
Speaking of,
people don't think like
you just had a birthday. Happy birthday. Second of all, kill that previous year. Doesn't matter anymore.
Old you don't exist.
That's true.
You're not the old you.
Yeah. But success leaves
Like, I didn't
clues.
like who I was in high school, mostly physically, and then mentally I was like, I ain't gonna be this kid ever again.
I hate to say it, I'm still the same guy from high school. Work ethic wise, like
Well, that's great and all.
maturity level. Like I've always been just like driven. Like,
That's fire.
like I'm trying to outwork everybody here. Like everybody's my competition. I'm my
Yeah, but
competition.
how far ahead of you? How far different are you than the kid back then, though? If I put that picture of you graduating on the
I
wall,
can drive
next to
now.
you,
Yeah.
I got a car, dude. It's like I mean,
Hey, no, but I respect it though, because I mean I understand what you're saying. You've had a work ethic.
Here's why that quote is such a killer, though. That story. Are you doing this? Like, I'm 24. If you're 24 years old and you're doing the same shit that you were doing at 23, 22, 21, 20, if you're doing the same thing, well, you're not accountable with yourself because you haven't changed, you haven't grown.
so Danny, go ahead and drop the definition of insanity.
Yeah. So think about this.
Do it.
As the definition of insanity is doing the exact same thing over and over, but expecting a different result.
So if you're being 21, you're doing the same shit you were doing when you're 21, being unsuccessful,
By definition, that's insane.
unsuccessful, and doing the same thing at 22, you're insane.
But the reality is nobody stops to audit themselves, their time, their energy. And so
No
it's like if you
accountability.
don't look at it, then you're like, oh yeah, it was college, man. And you just like write off 4 years of your life, of your prime. You're like, oh,
Your life experiences aren't taxes. You can't write
College.
it off.
it was sick though.
So-
it was fun.
You went to college briefly, right?
Yeah, I went for,
So
actually.
you got a
like
degree, didn't you?
3.5 years.
Really?
Yeah.
Did
And
not know
I
that.
paid my way through college with cash though, so it was fun. So I was always working, trying to I was waiting tables really actually, and
Mhm.
bartending. And
So, if you could go back, to be honest with the
I'm
viewers,
with the
would you go through college again?
yeah, that I mean if I was having like when I was like a
Your
son,
mindset today, going back?
but when I have a son or a daughter, I will suggest that they go to college for half a semester to 1 semester for the social experience, if it's still even a thing then.
I'll tell you one thing, dude. I did not have a social college experience, and I hope a lot of people don't.
There's
'Cause
benefits, like
it-
everything. There's pros and cons.
It breeds complacency, as far as I'm concerned.
It sucks
With
for
most of
men.
the people I used to be
actually,
friends
that's
with,
true. Yeah, that's true.
most of the people I was friends with who went to
It can,
college,
yeah.
they're bartending. They're still in Hammond. They haven't left.
I know. Dude, college sucks for men.
I have a friend from high school. I was a gifted kid. I was a weird nerd. there was a
he was
chick-
remedial math.
There's a chick 2 years older than me, and she's super smart. I always thought she was cool as shit. Like, oh man, she's so cool, man. She got a Master of Arts. She's working at a paint shop for like walls and shit.
Mm-hmm.
Now I have another friend who went and did a Master of Arts with a minor in like archaeology or something with historical buildings and stuff. And now she's on the commission for the New Orleans historical whatever it is with the historical buildings. She went overseas, did archaeology work, and now she's running like the district for historical buildings and shit. Like, so one example bred complacency. They're not doing anything with the degree. The other person found their niche, right, and went after it and got it. And she's gonna be so successful, dude. It's insane.
Love it. Yeah, so, dude, high school for me was like, I'm not gonna say the glory days. I loved baseball.
Please
I thrived in it.
Yeah.
And
It's
dude,
fun
like-
to play a sport though.
dude, yeah, the baseball
Make
was
your sport business.
baseball was my business. I graduated high school. I had 3 college offers: University of Dallas, University of Rice, Huntington College. And stupid me.
And you looked really good in baseball pants.
Yeah, I looked very good at baseball pants. Had the long hair. I was rocking it. But I was like, nope. I'm gonna follow this girl to Southeastern because she's my high school sweetheart. I'm gonna follow her. we broke up before school even started, and I just like partied my way through college. I graduated in 4 years. I got a degree and all that stuff. It's like, man,
Nice.
if I could go back with the mindset I have now, which is the law of detachment, I was attached to her for the wrong reasons.
Sure.
So detach yourself from everything and focus on yourself. If I would have done
So,
that back then,
With that,
I could have been playing for the New Orleans Zephyrs.
Yeah.
with that,
bang.
tying,
Bang! Mic drop!
so tying that into accountability that we talked before in your circle and everything, there's a young man at the gym I go to. I say young man, he's 20, just starting college, right, or 19. He's working hard at the gym there. He's doing summer classes while working at the gym to make extra money.
Grinder.
He's a grinder. He wants to be an entrepreneur. He wants to own his own business.
You should.
Yeah, and he's a great dude, and I hope we actually have him on the show because
he want to be a Dharma daddy?
Think about it.
I
That's a
mean,
big.
he meets with one Dharma daddy every freaking day at the gym. He's well on his way. But this guy, I talked to him last year when I first met him because he was a new guy there. And he's like, "Oh, I'm gonna go to. I think he's going to Ole Miss or Southern Mississippi. I'm not
One of
sure.
those.
One of them." And he was already talking about the fiscal cons of college and everything. I was like, "Well, do you have an idea what you want to do?" He's like, "Yeah, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do this because I want to do this." And I was like, "Great, you're leagues ahead of everyone else." And he's doing summer classes right now. So what I'm getting at is, if you're accountable and you know you want to go to college, because most people go to college because their friends are going, blah 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 blah. They don't know what they're gonna do. They do general studies and they waste away until they get married, whatever. This kid has a plan. He is taking now at my school. I had to do this, but I learned that it's possible other places too. He's taking 18 credits a semester.
So he's 10xing.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. This kid,
18 credits. Ain't
he doesn't even know like how hardcore he is right now because everyone else is taking like, I don't know, 8 to 10 hours, something stupid.
What's the is it 15 hours? 15 hours is the average.
a 15-hour. 18 hours in summer school.
He's doing 18 hours in summer school. He's doing 18 hours for every semester.
Yeah.
Okay, I did 15 hours. I'm pretty sure.
If he grinds, he's going to graduate in 3 years.
Okay, yeah. So I did 15 hours for 4 years every single semester. So that's what gets you to. I'm pretty sure it's 15 hours.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This guy's
12
doing-
hours.
60 hours.
12 hours is considered full time. Anything less than that, you're a part time student. 12 hours plus 15 hours is more of like a
If you looked
full-time
at college like a job, if you looked at college like it's going to make you money,
student. You'd be rich.
do 18 hours at least. Like this kid, he's busting it out.
That's cool.
I just wanted to bring that in because he's accountable. He's got a plan,
Love it.
and a lot of
Yeah.
people go to college for the wrong reasons. This kid isn't. But
That's cool.
yeah.
I'm kind of biased, to be honest with y'all, towards that, because I just think it's like sales is the name of the game. College is like was cool like in the 60s, 70s, 80s. Like,
College is an over.
I mean, like if you're gonna become a doctor or a nurse or
Yes.
if your career is actually relevant to what you're learning, obviously you have to go to college. You don't
If
just
it
YouTube
is more or less a highly skilled trade, get the degree.
Yeah, but the reality is, in my eyes, for where most people are at, because most people, oh yeah, dude, I'm going to business for or school for business.
Well,
What do you want to
Danny.
do when you get out? And they're like, oh, I don't know.
Well, Danny, is your
They're just chilling.
is your degree in marketing?
no.
Is your degree in sales?
I don't have a degree.
But you are slaying it in the sales game, right?
Yeah. Well,
There you
yeah.
go, guys.
Yeah, it's to me, yeah, it's a part of showing up. It's showing up is.
But you
A
learned a
lot.
lot of habits, right? You learned a lot of good
Oh,
things.
Yeah.
So kind of to segue out of this, Danny, go ahead and introduce us to the book club.
Yeah. So the book club, the Honest Club. It's something we've been doing for the last 2 weeks.
So explain the title of Honest Book Club.
So honesty to me is, I mean, like, well, to all of us really, it's the ability to just be upfront with each other. Because I mean, imagine, so none of us are trying to be insane, right?
Mm-mm.
Right?
Insane?
Yeah, you don't want to be insane.
Only insanely good at
I know
deadlifts.
y'all going. All right, only sometimes.
Yeah, it's like
But
people think I'm insane.
Yeah, I think
That's good.
Yeah, that is good.
So,
Ride the line of psychopath.
But is to put our goals out there, like we all talk pretty openly about in our group, is to have that, and then we all like, dude, if I'm in front of you 6 times over 6 weeks, and you set your goal out, something achievable between now and then, and you haven't done it,
and I just keep showing up to this book club where we keep reading new books, and you're not achieving what you want, like, am I low-key a clown for hanging out with somebody that's not keeping themselves up to that standard? Because if I should do it, then you should do it, and if you should do it, I should do it. That's the whole part of the group.
Hang out with 5 clowns, you'll be the 6th.
Exactly. And so, to me, I've in a way wanted to force myself into an atmosphere where I'd be accountable for reading a book a week, and then if I surrounded myself with people that read a book every week and we talked about it together, we would literally come up with something absolutely insane.
And so what we do during these meetings is we'll talk about what we liked in the book and blah, blah, blah. Yeah. What I would do, what I started doing, what everyone else harped on, especially Danny kind of took the charge and as a leader said, okay, we're going to actually do this.
Practice.
So what I would do is I would get my notes in the book. Yeah, there's a couple things I liked, whatever. I get it. Here's where I'm at currently with the standard this book is setting. Here's where I'm flawed with this book, this operation manual. Here's where I'm failing. This is what I need to improve on. And granted, these are good friends of mine now, but it's still weird saying like, hey, I'm messing this up. And when you say it to a bunch of people who are like-minded and you don't want to disappoint them.
So this is just me. We've read Atomic Habits, 7 Spiritual Laws, Sell or Be Sold right now.
Yeah, wait.
So this week's upcoming book is what?
Sell or Be Sold by Grant Cardone. So
Slow down. What was that?
Sell or Be Sold.
Oh, by Grant Cardone.
So
Sell or
everything.
be
So basically, the premise of the book is everything in life is a sale. You're either selling a product, a service, or yourself. You're always selling yourself.
Are we all salespeople though?
Every single person in this world is a salesperson.
You think that?
Every conversation you have with another person, you're selling yourself.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm doing so good. Oh,
Does
now they're-
anybody watch Peaky Blinders?
No.
No.
Well, if anybody's watching Peaky Blinders or has watched it, Thomas Shelby, the protagonist, he has this one quote, and it's always stuck in my head. He looks at this barmaid, and he goes, he asks if she's a whore. This is in the 1920s, when they were still like that kind of thing at the bar.
Still are.
Yeah, but like the paid ones. And she's like, no. And he's like, well, we're all whores. We just sell different parts of our body. That's real.
In a way, yeah.
We're all whores. We just sell different parts of our
Peaky
body.
Blinders.
But for me, dude, that's why I'm so like into the law of Dharma. The 7 spiritual laws exist. That book,
was
every
fire.
time I read it, speaks
That was
volumes.
fire.
There's so many things I'm not practicing. Like I'm trying so hard to practice the law of detachment. So it's just like detach yourself from whatever you want in life.
Dude, an hour a day of meditation?
That's hard.
Law of pure potentiality.
Yeah.
So ego aside, who are you when you're alone? What are
That's
your
that's
true-
a good question. Think about that.
Who are you when you're by yourself?
Yep.
Accountability.
What are you doing? My favorite one is the law of least effort.
Yep.
So grass doesn't try to grow; it just grows.
Yeah.
Fish don't try to
It
swim.
actually takes effort at first.
Yeah.
Fish don't try to swim; they just swim. Why are we trying so hard? We try so hard to impress other people.
I'll tell
to
you
do
why.
all these certain things. I'm like,
Instead of
why?
just doing it.
Just freaking do it. Do it for yourself.
If
and
you
like,
follow the laws in order, I'll tell you exactly why you're trying so hard. Because you haven't found your purpose.
Well, you read that in chapter 7. But through the first chapter, your law of pure potentiality, you should find your purpose in that first chapter.
So the book club.
Yeah.
So we've got Atomic Habits. It was fire.
Yes.
7 spiritual laws of success, which was absolute gas on the fire.
Mm-hmm.
And then now going into week 3, in my head, this is like an application because it's like there really is something powerful too. Once you realize that literally every conversation, whether you're dating somebody, whether you're trying to get a deal, whether you're trying to get a promotion, it is a sale.
And so so far, I like this order, right? We've gotten really good at our habits.
Habits.
And then we got super in touch with ourselves and our goals and
goals,
our inner self, right? And now, how do we sell it?
Yeah.
How do we take all that and put it into sales? How do we sell ourselves?
Yeah. I think it's worth reviewing and to like,
Because obviously we're going to be chomping at new books,
but it's to really digest because that Atomic Habits, you could digest that for a month, and you could
it is fire, so it's worth reading again for sure.
Yeah.
But yeah, so the book club. How if you had somebody that wanted to join the book club, how would they at least
hop in the next one, or or give a 1 week commitment to read this upcoming book. And when do we meet?
Yeah, so book club, first and foremost, we meet every single Monday at 8 p.m. CST. If you'd like to join the book club, DM me at Wyatt_Palmer or Daniel Lynch. I don't know your...
Daniel J_Lynch.
Okay, then Captain, CAPN_Steve.
CAPN_Steve.
Yeah, so DM one of us. I'll drop all of our Instagram bios.
If you're a friend, text me.
In the description. If you want to join the club, you're more than welcome to. We read a book a week. And then the second week, we try to digest it and implement that to our lives. However, if you want to join the book club, we have a golden rule. We only work with the serious, not with the curious. So if you're curious about it, don't worry about it. If you're serious about it, you want to change your life and change your lifestyle, then hit us up.
If you're
That's
gonna
why we got
commit.
the Honesty Club, because
Yeah.
we'll call each other out.
We're going to call you. If
There
you,
was a couple members of the book club that didn't finish the first or second book.
No, what, dude, there's a lot of people that didn't even read the 7 Spiritual Laws of Success. It's 96 pages. That's like 8-9 pages a day, 10
Who,
pages
it was
a
the
day.
was it the first one where one of us didn't finish the book, and they came up and straight up said like, "Hey, I didn't finish the book, but
That's
here's what I have.
respect, though.
Here's what
That's
I have.
honesty.
That's honesty. Here's what I have so far." They didn't fault their commitment to the club. They showed up. They gave their notes, what they thought, what they're doing right now.
He came to learn.
They're like, "Hey, I didn't finish it, but
It's the
I'm here to
environment,
learn."
baby.
So I didn't finish the book this week, but I showed up. I'm here. I am dedicated to this club. I couldn't find the time. My work ethic wasn't there this week. I didn't have time to read the book and be there for myself. I didn't hold myself accountable.
That's
However,
respect.
I'm going to be accountable to my fellow people. I'm going to be honest with y'all. I did not read the book this week, and I'm here to digest whatever you have to say.
Bro, this upcoming one, Sell or Be Sold.
Second time reading it.
It is going to be gas.
Before I got the book, I looked up some YouTube videos of him.
It's going to be gas.
Bless you.
Bless me.
Bless you, brother.
You are blessed, aren't you?
I feel blessed.
We're all blessed.
Highly favored.
Blessed and highly favored. But no, this book is really, honestly, I'm telling you, I was listening to it on my way back from Houston. I've listened to it 3 or 4 times already. I swear it'll change your life. And if you think he's crazy, just keep listening. I promise you, you have to listen.
I like it when
to
someone's got an edge like that, though.
You have to, like, the saying of sales/communication.
Nugget.
Where 40% of the communication is verbal, 40% is the actual words you choose. So that's 40%. Tonality, so how you say it, whether you talk real low or whether you lean in and you got a little emphasis to something. And then
The other 20% is just, like the message of what it is. Somewhere along those lines.
but it's just the reality. So when you actually listen to the books and read them along, I think it'll be absolutely fire. You'll take a whole different perspective.
I am so excited for what we have in the works right now, man.
It's special.
Between book club, businesses, dude, it's going to be great. So I think
Just the beginning, though.
just
I
the
mean,
beginning.
Yesterday, I woke up and had the overwhelming feeling like, dude, I'm gonna blow up. This is awesome, dude. And I was so happy about it, and it made my day that much better, man.
It's crazy, man. So I think that's gonna be a wrap on episode 2. Entrepreneurship, is it for you? First and foremost, thank you guys for watching. Truly, if you stayed this long, please leave a like, leave a comment. Please hit that subscribe button. We truly appreciate it. We don't run ads, we're not in all that stuff. We try to give you as many nuggets as possible.
Help us fight the YouTube algorithm. Subscribe.
We truly appreciate you if you watch the entire thing. I know this one was a little bit longer, but I feel like this one had a lot of value. Tomorrow we're going to have Autumn on, which is Daniel's girlfriend, a female
An
entrepreneur.
absolute savage.
She is a savage. So if you're a female watching this, there might be one of you that stays to the very end. You are going to want to be there for the next episode.
Absolutely.
So many nuggets.
Just
Killing
wait.
it.
Literally, just wait. It'll be fun.
So, boys, appreciate y'all for tuning in. Skip, you're a little late today, but it's all right.
All good, baby.
It's all good.
All right, we'll see y'all in episode 3 with Autumn. Peace.